He's got electric stuff, man, and he's a tall guy, lanky guy, and so, his 97, 98 seemed like 100 up there at the plate. He's hard to hit.
You gotta give it to him. Jon Snow, Jason Foley, can get pretty creative, especially on Halloween. But on the mound, he doesn't need to be, sporting a fastball that once topped out in the triple digits.
It's pretty crazy. Especially growing up, when I grew up watching baseball, back then, not back then, but 90 miles an hour was kind of like the status quo. So obviously hitting 100 was pretty gnarly. I remember the first time, it was that year in 2017 in West Michigan, and we always have game reports and whatnot, so they're just monitoring everything. And every outing I would always hit 98 or 99. And everyone was just always just get messing around with me, when are you gonna hit 100? When are you gonna hit 100? And I just remember one game, it was maybe I had no one on and an 0-2 count, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna absolutely try to rear this one back. And I think that was the actual pitch, the first time I ever hit 100. And it was pretty cool for sure. To say I did it is pretty neat.
However, even with a power arm, Foley has flown under the radar for quite some time.
I was never a stud and was really owning the competition right from the get-go. So pretty much I was never really heavily recruited out of high school. I didn't even think I was going to end up playing in college, really. I was like, maybe I'll just go on with my college life and do whatever. And then pretty much last minute, I got a call from Sacred Heart.
He went to Sacred Heart University up in Connecticut, where actually Bobby Valentine, the ex-Mets manager, is the athletic director. And pitched there and just kind of was a late developer, tall, lanky kid that it happens, and particularly on the pitching side, where some guys kind of develop late, gain a little weight, and some ways throws a little harder. And so our scouting people saw him in some summer leagues up in the Northeast, and we actually signed him in the summer as an undrafted free agent.
All happened within legitimately 3 days time. So all happened real quick, but it was a pretty cool experience.
But just a year later, the 6'4", 215-pounder was sidelined with an elbow injury, one that would require Tommy John surgery.
I was thankful enough to be pretty healthy up until that point in my career. Tommy John kind of was never even a thought for me, this won't happen to me. And then, one game, it just, weird too, I felt fine up until it, and then, one game, unfortunately, I got hurt. But it was tough. Really tough mentally.
It would cost the New York native all of 2018, but since then, he has started to recapture the magic that, at its peak, saw him striking out 11 batters per 9.
Bounced back very well. We brought him into Toledo at the end of the alternative site camp this 2020 summer, and picked up and did well as he was kind of gaining more strength coming off of the surgery, working on his two-seam sinker, and that's coming along. But he's a very intriguing guy, very interesting. We have very high hopes for Jason Foley.
Best case is he's some kind of setup man. It's a lot of velocity. It works because you kind of have to sit on the fastball because he throws so hard. But I think a setup man might be realistic.
It's all right, here's your call. You're in the game. It's you have no time to think. It's get ready. It's go in the game. It's execute pitches. And I think that just kind of fits my style. I think I have the stuff to compete at the highest level. I just trying to hone it in and fine tune it a little bit to make it a little more consistent, because the guys that are doing it up at the big leagues, consistency is really the main factor.